going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media. It's unfortunate loss for the Ravens right there. And to add insult to injury, the Jacksonville Jaguars did pull off the upset against the Indianapolis Colts, making it almost certain that the Pittsburgh Steelers will make the playoffs. So we'll have to watch them play play against the Chiefs. I believe they'll be playing in the first round. First off, congratulations to the Steelers that they played a good game. Congratulations to Big Ben, obviously on his great career. And Shamil, how you doing? Says, what a bad way to end this season. I don't know if I'd say it was a bad way to end the season. I think it was very fitting. I think it was very fitting that this is the way that the Ravens lost. What was the Ravens' problem all season long? End of game situations, right? That's exactly what happened in this game. Not only on the defensive side of the ball, trying to stop the Pittsburgh Steelers from driving down, but the issue that I had was the Ravens have the ball in overtime. They are running it down the Steelers' throat. That's how the Ravens were winning this game. They were running the ball. Latavius Murray had, I want to say he might have had 150 yards rushing. I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, exactly 150 yards rushing on only 16 carries. I mean, he was pounding the rock and he was getting chunk plays. The Ravens get a short run and they went away from it. They went away from the run. And not only is that a theme for this year, it is a theme for Greg Roman in every big game situation that the Ravens have had. Every time they need to continue doing something, they stop doing it. They stop doing it. They call a pass for Tyler Huntley in the rain. He completely misses Sammy Watkins. They call another pass on 3rd and 9. Obviously, you have to call the pass on 3rd and 9. He misses another throw. And this one was tough. Tyler Huntley did not play a good game. He showed why he's the backup quarterback for the Ravens. I've talked about this plenty of times in that Tyler Huntley's a decent quarterback. I like Tyler Huntley. However, with the roster that the Baltimore Ravens have, if the quarterback does not play like a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, the Ravens will not win. Thus, if they don't have Lamar Jackson, they won't be able to win almost any games because Lamar Jackson has to play that well for the Ravens to win. And I'm going to say right now, if Lamar Jackson plays in that game, the Ravens win that game. I fully believe that. Huntley had a very, very poor interception. Huntley also made some great plays, but yeah, Shamil, thank you so much for the super chat. It says everyone who said Huntley's better than Lamar feels so dumb right now. Yeah, and Huntley, that interception in the red zone was atrocious, right? At that point in the game, I want to see exactly how much time was left. Tyler Huntley throws the interception. Let's see here. We got Joshua joining in as well. So I'm going to add him in, take this off of the screen. There we go. But Tyler Huntley, the Ravens have the ball. They were up 10-6. They have the ball at the Pittsburgh 11-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Up by 4 points. One, he had Rashad Bateman open. 2, he throws it into traffic, and he gets the interception. If the Ravens kick a field goal there, they get 3 points. They are up by 7 points. It allows the Steelers to have a chance. Steelers end up scoring a touchdown. Ravens down by 3. Huntley does a good job, gets him into field goal range. Justin Tucker knocks in the field goal. But then, overtime comes and Tyler Huntley starts missing throws. Also, Marquise Hollywood Brown, crucial drop. You can't miss that. He's standing on the sideline. He brings it in. You have to hold on to that football. Dropping that ball, that's a momentum killer. That's a drive killer.
You talking about
that's a season killer. Yeah, the sideline grab.
Now that tiptoe catch, I thought he had the possession and the feet was in, but Minka, I guess if he would have made a football move after that, it would have been
Yeah,
okay.
he was yet
Okay,
to make any sort of move. He was kind of like bouncing up, and then Minka just punched it out.
okay. To me, no, he had it, but I'm like, all right. I guess I'm like, okay. I guess they call it incomplete because he didn't make a football move after that, or didn't immediately get out of bounds because both feet were in. But I want to say that was a rough one. That's a Ravens Steelers game.
Yeah.
Everybody talking about, and I see Twitter. I don't know if you've seen it. What do they say about Tyler Huntley? Oh, Tyler Huntley taking over for Lamar. Yeah, right. We all knew this was going to happen. 1 minute you praising the young man, next minute, oh yeah, let's get rid of him. No, it's okay. This is a Ravens Steelers matchup. That was an end of the season game. Honestly, we actually thought it probably would have been more high scoring, but they almost played an old school style of Ravens Steelers type of game. And shout out to both teams because they played as best as they could. I feel like a lot of things could have been adjusted, but hey,
Yeah, and right now I do want to say the Ravens are sitting with the number 14 pick in the NFL draft currently, as it stands. And the Saints are winning right now. We'll see what happens with the Dolphins. I believe if the Dolphins lose and the Saints win, since the Ravens lost to the Dolphins, they would be lower in the standings. I'm not 100% certain on that, but the Dolphins are up 14-0 on the New England Patriots right now. So
they might be because they did get Miami did get the win. They might.
So we'll be able to see what happens, and we gotta talk about this. Greg Roman.
He he did run the rollout play to the left though.
Called the rollout play. It's so frustrating because I think the plays that a lot of the plays that Greg Roman has in his playbook are good plays. That's not the issue with Greg Roman. I think a lot of people are like, oh yeah, but look at the run scheme that he has. Yeah, it's a great run scheme.
Yeah.
He's got some good passing plays. The Ravens have run them plenty of times. The issue with Greg Roman is situational football. He is atrocious. He is absolutely terrible when it comes down to situational football. The Ravens running the ball really well. He'll stop running. We saw it in the Chargers game. The Ravens dominated the Chargers on the ground. Then all of a sudden it was like, hold on. They stopped running the ball. Now the offense isn't working. Why? Because they stopped running the ball. And, Bateman wanted the ball. I heard somebody said Bateman was yelling at the coaches on the field. Yeah, I mean, that's just, it's so frustrating watching the Ravens because obviously they're missing so many pieces. And it's a testament to how hard they work, but they're not going to win with Greg Roman, with Wink Martindale, or with John Harbaugh. And I fully believe that. I like all of those guys. I think they can do decent, but the Ravens aren't looking to win games in the regular season. They're not. They're looking to win the Super Bowl. That is the only goal of this team. That is the only goal of any team. And with those guys, I don't believe that they're going to win a Super Bowl, which means I truly believe they need to fire everybody. And this isn't the Ravens lost to the Steelers crazy reaction. We've been saying this for a while. This has been discussed.
We've been saying this is the offseason. Well, at least Greg Roman. The other two guys just recently joined the party. They just joined the bus over this season. Ramey, listen. McConnell and myself, we're not in Orange Mills. We can as a Ravens flock, we can send all the letters that we can, and give all our ideas. Hell, we can all come up with a play and give them a new playbook, offense and defensive wise. But at the end of the day, these guys that get paid to do this, they're going to do whatever they want to do. And the sad thing is, as us Ravens fans, we have to live with it or die with it. I know the only thing I can say is, well, I said it yesterday. Generational players. Our generational player in Lamar Jackson was hurt. Our generational player in Lamar Jackson was saving not only John Harbaugh's behind, but also Greg Roman's behind as well. And honestly, our generational player, when he comes back next year, I feel like he's outgrown the both of them. And there needs to be true changes. And there's nothing, and we have nothing against Greg, nothing against John. We love what they have brought to the Ravens organization, and everything like that. But it's definitely time to call it a quits. I mean, I just don't want to take 18 years like they did with Big Ben. I want them to go ahead and address the issue.
Shout out to Maddox. Maddox, good game, man. Yeah, I am excited. I will say I am excited to watch Big Ben in the playoffs. Just to see him try and do it one more time. Honestly, I'm going to root for the Steelers against the Chiefs.
It's going to be Big Ben versus Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
Both some of the best QBs in the league going on their last whim. Why not?
I think this is a great point. John Harbaugh lost 6 straight games without Lamar Jackson. Meanwhile, Mike Tomlin can go 8-8 with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph. F out of here. Mike Tomlin is just too much for us. We need something else. Yeah, I think when you look at the Baltimore Ravens and what they have going for them, what do they have going for them? Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Marlon Humphrey, and some young, and obviously some young talent in Odafe Oweh, and I think Brandon Stevens and Rashad Bateman. I think those are all guys that we can mention.
And our running backs.
Yes. We hadn't seen them all year. Totally forgot about them. J.K. and Gus Edwards. Coaching can take those players to the next level. These players are taking their coaches to that level rather than vice versa. Yeah, Mike McCarthy has a Super Bowl ring, but that's because of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers does not have a Super Bowl ring because of Mike McCarthy. He has a Super Bowl ring in spite of Mike McCarthy. And I'm not saying Lamar Jackson is on the level of Aaron Rodgers, but every single player that wins, they need some help. And John Harbaugh, as much as I like John Harbaugh, I don't think he's the right guy for Lamar, because I think you need somebody that can utilize his skill set as an X's and O's type of guy. Because right now it's just, oh, Lamar, what do you like? I think that's what he likes.
He needs a coach like a Andy Reid. I believe Andy Reid had Michael Vick.
Yep.
At one point in time. Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave it as that. You need innovative coaches with generational players. For instance, Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes won a Super Bowl ring together. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Yes, Tom Brady is a systematic QB, but still, Tom Brady can get your system done, and they did that hand in hand. Even with all the turmoil they had internally, they still got it done. So hey,
and I think a great thing that's gonna be really unfortunate to watch is Trey Lance just got drafted, by the San Francisco 49ers, 3rd overall. He's got Kyle Shanahan. That is a top tier schematic coach in the NFL. And he's got him. Obviously, Mahomes, he's got Andy Reid. Even Mac Jones has Bill Belichick. These are coaches that are elevating their players. Harbaugh's not doing that for Lamar. And I think that the Ravens need to recognize that. And I really hope that Lamar Jackson's career isn't lost. I'm not saying because of injury, but lost because he couldn't get the right pieces around him, not because of the players, but because of the staff. And
you know what? How about we take this comparison? If the Ravens keep John Wink and Greg, Lamar Jackson will be like, who can we compare it to in the NBA? The young guns that was for the Lakers. And I say the young guns, I mean Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, and was Josh Hart, and yeah, Josh Hart was with
yeah,
that dude too.
and Jordan Clarkson.
Yep. All five of them, if they did not leave that organization, they would not be able to blossom, they would not be able to shine, and they wouldn't be able to be household names. Julius Randle is now a household name for the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram has been more in his bag for New Orleans more than ever. Lonzo Ball been able to create a shot and also be able to, play more solid minutes. Jordan Clarkson, I believe he won Six Man of the Year, or he was a six man.
I know he was in the finalists. I
Okay.
can't remember who won it last year.
Okay. So hey, if they don't make moves, Lamar Jackson's going to end up like those five.
Yeah.
Keep on running the system. That's not going to work.
YPC, thank you so much for the super chat. Says when Lamar Jackson needs help, Harbaugh will go on that presser, and say we already have the guys. But you have guys like Prochet and Tylan Wallace not playing. Also, if they make a mistake, they get benched. I think this is very true. It's like the roster that the Ravens have can be good. Obviously, with the injuries, it got worse over time.
Yeah.
But they still weren't utilizing, I feel like, their best players in a lot of situations. Where are the jump balls? They draft James Prochet and Tylan Wallace. They are drafted because of their jump ball ability. That is what they're there for, to make those difficult catches. That's what they do. Devin Duvernay was a slot receiver at the University of Texas, and all the Ravens seem to ever do with him is throw him on jet sweeps. Hollywood Brown, he's really good at hitting the double move. Once Lamar Jackson was out, we didn't see deep balls to Hollywood. We saw like one from Tyler Huntley. And maybe that's because Tyler's not great at the deep ball, but
I mean, he probably got targeted. Maybe if it's a deep ball, he probably get targeted once out of every game. And then if he is targeted, it's overthrown.
Yeah.
Even Josh Johnson tried to target him. But it's a lot of head coaching jobs up for grabs right now. You got the Denver. Mike Zimmer's supposed to be fired out of Minnesota. Got the Bears.
Yep. Jacksonville.
So as much as we hope that Greg Roman and Wink get called for interviews and stuff like that, we gotta see how this end of the season presser that should be like next week, maybe.
Yeah, and what's annoying, and King, right now, currently, we're drafting at 14. That's the current spot. And Miami's winning right now, and the Saints are also winning. So if that holds, I think the Ravens would maintain the 14th pick. And really quickly, just a somewhat of a positive thing, I'm going to pull up Tankathon and see who they have at pick 14. If you guys don't know how Tankathon does it, Tankathon is not a mock draft. It is a conglomerate of averages of where people say what other mock drafts say where people will go. So that's how Tankathon works. So sometimes it won't have like very good positional matches, but at 14, they got us taking Tyler Lindenbaum.
Wow, but we talked about that last night though. We talked about that last night, so I wouldn't really be mad. I just don't need us to keep on making these adjustments. I need us to stop doing that, changing the offensive line so much.
And Ahmad Garner jumped significantly. He used to be I think pick 21 or 22. He's at pick 12 now.
So we would have to trade something off.
Yep, unfortunately.
And all the other teams above us would not take Tyler Huntley.
No, yeah, I don't think so. Well, maybe Washington, but
They still ahead of us.
yeah, Washington's sitting at the 10th pick.
Honestly, I would actually try to package Snoop and Prochet. Put them in the slot.
Yeah, I mean potentially. I mean, there's just a lot of guys that I'm looking at. Wow, this has really changed a lot. But so right now, actually, number 2 corner is Ahmad Gardner. He used to be the number 3 corner. So interesting to see. Very interesting to see. Kyle Hamilton looking like he's going number 4. But yeah, some quick draft stuff just to talk about because
that's the next thing. That's the best thing to look forward to. Oh, and tomorrow night.
Yes.
Tomorrow night.
A lot of future Ravens playing in that game. Another thing that I think that a lot of people will bring up is Eric Bieniemy. Obviously, he's the number 1 guy to go after. I think he's been the number 1 guy last year in the offseason. I think everyone wanted to see where he would go. And, Bieniemy is obviously a guy that could do something, but at the same time, he's also a guy working under Andy Reid. So it's like one of those things of how much is it Andy Reid, how much is it Eric Bieniemy? I think it is a good chunk Eric Bieniemy.
Right.
Like you think about coaching trees, right?
Yeah.
Right now, 2 of the best coaches in the NFL are under the same coaching tree: Sean McVay and Matt LaFleur. They both are from the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree, who obviously is from the Mike Shanahan coaching tree, being his dad and all. So, like, we see all of those teams, they're doing pretty good for themselves. Obviously, the Packers, they've been in back-to-back NFC championship games, or at least been contenders ever since they brought in Matt LaFleur. Sean McVay's gone to the Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan has gone to the Super Bowl. So, like, I think going for, like, a new style could be what the Ravens are missing. And I understand. I like Harbaugh and Shane. I understand this take. I do understand the keeping Harbaugh. It's just, for me, I think it has to be a reset. Get a new culture, get a new everything to go with Lamar Jackson, because Harbaugh isn't providing schemes. He's just providing energy.
He is a great motivational speaker. If he did not get his life, if he didn't get certified for life coaching, I don't know. I just feel like it's like watching Rocky, and you hear Mickey talk down to Rocky. And what did that do to Rocky? That fired Rocky up, didn't it? when it was time for that second rematch with Apollo Creed, what Mickey told him, we're gonna get you fast like grease lightning and everything like that. I mean, it's so many different things we can say about his blind loyalty, his totalitarian coaching style. When I say that, is either his way or no way. Meaning, he's quick to bench players if they make one mistake, but doesn't get on the coaches. I can't. That's something that really bothers me, and that's been going on for years. And he has that type of mentality where, you can't challenge him. You can't say nothing to him. Like, yo, these are grown men. I know you may be older than me, but I know this game I'm out here playing. I'm actually seeing what's going on in the field. I'm experiencing what's actually happening in live full action. Give me something so I can really run. No. You're gonna run what we tell you. You're gonna do what we tell you. And that's it. That's all. Hey, Lamar, man. I just want to thank you for helping me keep my job. It's your world. Which one do you want to go for 2? You want to go for 2? I don't never hear him say, you know what, forget it. Come on back. Justin, get out there, give me the for sure extra point. No. I know we always talk about coaches supposed to help us. Coaches are supposed to put us in situations for us to win. But some of these guys give Harbaugh, Greg Roman too much credit. It's literally been Lamar Jackson this season. It's been Lamar Jackson for the past 2018, this 22, the past 4.5 seasons. It hasn't been John Harbaugh's coaching. The only person I give credit to is 2019 is G-Ro. We took the run game by storm. Nobody could have stopped it. But guess what? We didn't tinker nothing. We didn't clean nothing up. Every year, defenses got better, and we never really had an answer. These past couple of years should have been a year where we would have took off with the passing game. This is where the creativity should have taken off. You draft the number one wide receiver. Why not start utilizing them more after he comes back from his injury? So hey, we can keep on talking about Greg Roman putting in new plays and stuff like that, but I don't see
Nothing
that
happens.
There
are no new plays.
Yeah, only people that get new plays is backup QBs that get to throw the ball more.
And also, I do agree with you, Chris. Here, I don't think they're going to fire Harbaugh. I don't.
Yeah, we know.
Which is very unfortunate. I mean, it's the same situation with Joe Flacco. Again, love Harbaugh. I loved Flacco. But you got to have a change. All right? When you realize
back, BOC.
Y'all know the definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. The Ravens keep finishing the season severely let down, and they're just like, Chuck Clark came to the presser and he said, watch how we bounce back. That's what they say every year, right? They lose to the Titans, they're like, oh, we'll be back. They lose to the Bills, oh, we'll be back. They lose to the Chargers, we'll be back. Now they lose to the Steelers off of a 6-game losing streak since having the number 1 seed in the AFC. Oh, watch how we'll be back. They better be back changed. Something new. Then maybe, yeah, I'll watch. I'll be like, okay, yeah, we're doing something. But just hoping that you can draft the right guys and keep the same coaches and somehow bring in better free agents. They keep trying to bring in new free agents, and it's just not working nearly to the level that they need them to.
And then the free agents we bring in, half of them are low tier or at the end of the
game. Exactly. And then it's like, oh yeah, we're a changed team. This is the best team. It's like, no, it's the same team basically. Maybe you drafted a couple of decent pieces, but you also lost a couple pieces because you refused to re-sign players. So it's like, yeah, we drafted Adafe. I love Adafe though. Keep that in mind. But we lost Yannick and we lost Matt Judon. Well, that's unfortunate. And I think it was still the right move to lose those players. But they keep doing the same thing over and over again. The offseason, the draft, they keep everyone. And they say, yeah, we'll do it next year. The issue is Lamar Jackson is no longer going to be making the small amount of money that he's making currently. This was the best time for him to get a championship last year of your cheap rookie deal. And I understand he still has next year, but next year is the 5th-year option year. So it's, I believe you make like $20 million or something like that. So.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like bad enough this offseason was interesting. They couldn't get a contract extension done. This year is going to be even more interesting to see how this contract negotiating goes. Don't be surprised, Ravens fans, if you hear rumors about Lamar Jackson is possibly shopping around or wants to leave.
And the thing is, you look at the Ravens, Lamar Jackson had this team at 8-3. Number 1 seed in the AFC. He gets hurt. Oh, they lose every single game after he got hurt. So it's like, that shows his value right there. And even though they were close games,
he still kept them in it.
Lamar Jackson's the guy that pushes you over the edge and not only allows you to win the close games, but blow teams out, right? The Ravens never in their history were a team that you could go in and be like, oh no, we're going to lose by 30. No, it was low scoring, and maybe Flacco would get the fourth quarter game-winning drive or field goal or whatever it was. That's how you played the Ravens. So every team had a chance against the Ravens. Lamar Jackson comes in, and he and the Ravens would beat the brakes off of teams.
Mm-hmm.
And they would do it against good teams. They did it to the Rams. They did it to the Patriots. They did it to the Browns. They did it to the Bengals. Like they would just decimate them. And all of a sudden now it's like, oh, Lamar Jackson's gone. And it's like, oh, they can't do that anymore. Now they're in close games and they lose all the close games because they don't have their quarterback.
And Ravens fans, if Lamar decides to take his talents elsewhere, do not leave. Or, matter of fact, if y'all do leave, I'll make sure I give y'all signing papers out the door. Because unfortunately, I'm just saying these things can happen. These things can happen. I mean, Ravens fans almost got in a frenzy when they saw Rashad Bateman's Instagram. I forgot what he did. I think he took something down for a hot minute, and everybody like, whoa, Rashad Bateman got a new agent, all this other stuff, XYZ, woo, woo, woo. I'm like, hey, man, anything can happen on any given day. We never know. I mean, heck, we saw Hayden Hurst request a trade because he thought he should be the number one, starting tight end. And now look at him now. Atlanta drafted Kyle Pitts, and he's back to the backseat. I'm sorry that had to happen to him, but I would be more than welcome to a reunion with Hayden Hurst.
It's going to be interesting to see how it all goes. And Ravens, we were riding off moral victory since Lamar got hurt. Huntley this, Huntley that, shaking my head. I've been disgusted with a lot of fans and media thinking Huntley was going to save us. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I talked about it, and we talked about it yesterday when Lamar Jackson got hurt, or, didn't get hurt, but when he was declared out for this game, lost a lot of hope. And I like Huntley. I think Huntley is a fair backup to have. But Lamar is the reason behind their wins. So, and I think a lot of people just for some reason weren't recognizing that. They were looking at the stats. And it's like, yeah, Lamar doesn't care about stats. He's said this a million times in press conferences, right? No, I don't care. We got the win. And he would put up great stats and he'd lose and he'd be mad. Now he's putting up sometimes poor stats and he wins. And then people are like, oh, he doesn't put up good stats. It's like, who cares? He won. When the Ravens needed him most, unlike the Avatar, he was actually there. Except for week 18 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but it's all good.
Oh, I like what you did there, McConnell. I like what you did there, man. Oh man, that was a good one. If y'all don't watch anime, y'all don't know what y'all missing out on. New episode of Demon Slayer comes on tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Just saying, y'all. We got in this time. I know everybody's frustrated, but we gotta laugh at so many things. We gotta keep going because at the end of the day, yeah, we can get so bent out of shape, but life still goes on. This is just the end of our season. In April, everything's going to be picking back up and going so hard. It's going to be crazy. So, right now, I wish Tyler Huntley would have played a better game. Just because what my wave been is getting his stock up for the draft. I mean, unfortunately, this is a Ravens Steelers game, so you can't expect everybody to have a star-studded game, especially the QBs. Right now, I feel like if you were to trade him, someone was to inquire about him, he could possibly be a solid third-round pick. And honestly, if we just stock up on third-round picks, I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, I will say, guys, I'm very excited for the draft.
Very.
Very excited for the draft and getting ready to scout for the draft and stuff like that. Probably going to start doing that relatively soon. But I mean, what do you, just kind of curious, we got some people in here. What do you guys want from us in the off season? Is there anything in particular you guys want us to do, make videos on and things like that? Because obviously we'll have to bring back Mock Draft Monday, for the people that are new. That's what we did this last off season, Mock Draft Monday, and did a lot of just scouting on a lot of different players, talked about, free agents, trade possibilities. Is there any sort of thing that you guys want us to talk about? Analyze, do like a series or something like that. Let us know. We can talk about it because obviously it's a long time without football until the Ravens will start practicing. So this is too funny.
Who's this guy? Who's this? Hey, bro! Don't you say that! Don't you dare say that! You ain't no Marlon Brown. But I mean, Marlon Brown didn't come alive when he came alive. Now, don't get it twisted.
No, he's Marcus Brown.
Oh,
he's not Marquise. He's Marcus.
Oh man,
Marcus Brown.
Y'all cut it out now. Y'all cut it out.
It started with the Sack Daddy jokes earlier this year. Slack Daddy.
Oh my gosh, did he's been getting in the game.
He's actually played decently. Like, shout out to him. He played decently.
They actually let him go up the field. They actually let him use his actual God-given technique, which is getting up the field. Yeah. Minka definitely made a great play. Like I said, like I was saying to McConnell, I thought, with him being inbounds, okay, that's going to be ruled as a catch. But I guess, no football move after the catch. And Minka came over there and punched it out. I'm like, all right, I guess it's incomplete, so we'll let him live. But that chemistry between him and Tyler Huntley was it wasn't there at all. It wasn't there at all. But I definitely feel like Marquise is going to be back. Long as Lamar got a job there, he'll be there. And come on, y'all gotta stop selling that young man short. And when he's alive, making touchdowns and going deep and actually catching the ball, y'all all for it. Come on now. Don't treat
the real thing that I think a lot of Ravens fans need to recognize is the Ravens have a number one wide receiver, but he's a tight end. So when people say like Hollywood's, not a number one, that's okay because he can be the number 3 option in the offense. And I think he can very well do a good job at being a 2 or 3 option. This year, I think he was the number 2 option behind Mark Andrews. But, Rashad Bateman can step up. So I don't think that the Ravens going into this offseason, it's a point of concern to be like, okay, we need an next wide receiver, right? We need Allen Robinson. We need Michael Thomas. The names that we were talking about last year. We need to trade for Devontae Parker, Kenny Golladay, Juju. We don't need that. Now, would I be okay with the Ravens drafting a wide receiver, day 3? Absolutely. I can always take a day 3 wide receiver, 4th round pick, 5th round pick. Absolutely, I'll take that. But we don't need to go all in on the wide receivers and stuff like that. It's okay if we lose Sammy. I don't need to bring him back. Let Dev step up. Let Prochet step up and let Tylan Wallace get in the mix. So, overall, I think the weapons are good for Lamar to come back to.
We got a lot to look forward for in regards to skilled personnel on the offensive side of the ball. The only thing is getting a coach, getting a true system where these guys can be effectively good. The only person that's really been effective is Mark Andrews. Like, honestly, the Steelers did a pretty good job on defense. But Mark Andrews had, his natural ability started kicking in. His natural talent just started kicking in at the end of the day. But if you've seen your best pass catcher getting double or triple, you have to utilize your other pass catchers because guys are going to be open. Just see them. So, yeah, way too many targets.
Yeah, I think that comes down to Tyler Huntley's fault. And just he was so. I mean, he came in the press conference and he talked about the interceptions and he was like, "Yeah, that was just me trying to get the ball in a great player's hands." And it's like I understand that, but at the same time, you had an open touchdown potentially. Need to see the all 22 access to see it precisely if the Rashad Bateman touchdown would have been a touchdown, but situationally, and we've talked about Lamar doing this sometimes. The Ravens, when you are up by 4 points against the Pittsburgh Steelers in a very close game where the Pittsburgh Steelers are yet to score a touchdown and you're only up by 4, got to get your 3 points. Don't make a risky throw like that trying to fit it in between all that coverage. And he didn't, if you want to fit it between coverage, you rifle it, right? He lobbed it in there and it gets intercepted. And that is absolutely crucial. That interception, that changed the game. And I'm not saying that we lost because of that interception. I'm just saying that I feel like was the most important part of the game for the Ravens right there. Not getting points there was the biggest issue. And I'm not blaming it all on Tyler Huntley. I'm not blaming it all on anybody.
I'm blaming it on the analytics. Us, the aggressiveness. You can't go off percentages and aggressiveness all the time when you know what your team is capable of. And then if you know your team can't always come alive on the fourth, why force the issue? If you have one of the Hall of Fame kicker, why we not? Hey, Justin, get out there, give me 3. I'm just saying. I know we love our touchdowns, but go ahead and get the points. If you guys play Madden, if you guys play NBA 2K Pro-Am, we all know in games, if you go on a run, sometimes you can't be stopped. And even in real life sports, if you're on a run and you got that momentum, you really can't be stopped unless something happens where it throws you off your game. So we didn't watch the Ravens win off field goals, but in that same instance, in that same breath, we had a stellar defense. We had a great defense, and this defense has been on the decline. I will admit to that. But when it's time for the defense to show up, the defense would have showed up. Like if we go back to that Green Bay Packers game, yes, we can still argue about, oh yeah, we should have went for the 2 points, or we should have went to OT. At that point, if the Ravens would have just went for the extra point with for the field goal extra point, I would have trusted my defense enough to get a stop on Aaron Rodgers because they did get a stop on him once in order to get him to kick the ball. But hey, it's so many different ways to look at the game. But I feel like Howard said it best: execution. Like, and that's something we had truly been missing out this year. Is not dialing up the correct plays and not executing to our full ability and to our full strength. And shout out to the 60 people in the stream as well. Come on now. We need this type of energy in the offseason. Love it.
Yeah, well, guys, don't worry. We will still be going live in the offseason and stuff like that, still having a good time. But this is just a tough game because the momentum of the Jaguars winning makes it so much worse. It would have been different if the Colts, were beating the Jags or whatever, and it's like, okay, oh well, they lost, but didn't mean anything. But the benefit is, I think Miami looks like they're going to win, so wouldn't have mattered. But at the same time, it's still just nice to feel that excitement just a little bit longer. But Howard says that the post-game interviews are really good. I will be checking those out. I'm excited to watch those. I don't know if excited's the right word, but I do want to see what they have to say. But I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's kind of tough, at the end of the year. At a year where, the highs and lows were so high and so low.
It was so. This was a morale. This was a morale year. If anything, I guess we could say, this team does have fight in them. This team does have resolve. They have showed that time and time again this year. But at least we know we can battle from behind. We definitely can. I guess the only thing I would wish is for guys to start being honest. And when I say about honest, I mean you might have to say some things that hurt. The only person that said some things that hurt, unfortunately he wasn't with us, is Des Bryant. But Des Bryant kept it real. Des Bryant showed that they actually had passing plays. I think you need that controversial leader sometimes in the room to make things happen. I mean, granted, I feel like things would have been more substantial if Des Bryant was being utilized more. But hey, things happen the way they do for a certain reason. I think this might be Calais last year.
Yeah, we'll see what Calais says. I don't expect him to say anything yet, but I do hope he comes back.
I feel like he has nothing else to prove. I mean,
thank you so much, Shane. Yeah, I mean, we started it last offseason was when the YouTube side of things. I don't think anybody from the original podcast transferred over to the YouTube side. Maybe they did. Maybe there's one of a few that is watching. But yeah, no, we're excited to have a full offseason to really go into everything and talk about all the players and definitely the game day or the draft day stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. It really is. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, most definitely. And I guess in the off season, I guess that's where we probably will be revealing the merch. So
yeah,
be on the lookout for that as well, y'all. We decided not to do it because it was too late into the season. So we'll definitely be have some stuff coming out on that end as well too. So we love it. We love doing what we do. You guys give us the motivation to keep on going. Honestly, I think McConnell every chance that I get, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be doing. I wouldn't be on TTB. Honestly, if he didn't put out there, who would be interested in doing the sports podcast, I'd probably be trying to still work on something on my own. So I'm glad to be a part of this. I'm glad, to be able to have this platform and to be able to speak to you all and just be able to be real with you all.
Yeah, I mean, you guys make it so much fun, being able to talk with you guys, get our opinions out there. Whether or not they're liked or not is, up to community decision. But, overall, I don't know. It's a tough way to end the season. I don't really know what else to say. Just the injuries, the letdowns, and I think Howard says some great stuff right here. No sour grapes, just get revved up for next year. Yeah,
most definitely.
Excited to watch. Lamar, Marlon, potentially Marcus, Adafe, the new draft picks. Heck, Ronnie.
We even get Dalen Hayes back. Remember that, y'all.
J.K. Dobbins, Gus.
Matter of fact, I guess drop in the stream, like because I know we was talking about bringing back. We was going to do the game and see who all likes NHL, Madden, 2K.
Oh yeah.
Cause I mean we can do a lot of different things, y'all. Like, how would y'all feel about some tournaments, stuff like that? I mean,
Oh man.
It's about that time. That's my one.
Oh, all right, guys. You guys have any other final questions before we kind of wrap up the stream? We've streamed a lot in the last, 24 hours. Streaming last night, streaming this morning, streaming again now. So obviously we'll be back probably for a midweek stream, try and do that, and then figure out a schedule for streaming, in the off season and everything like that. We'll have to figure it out, but
yeah, absolutely. And if y'all want to talk about any other sports, like McConnell said yesterday, let us know. I mean, I got to get back into baseball. I don't mind getting back into it. Basketball is definitely my second sport. I also like hockey. So y'all just let us know.
Yeah. So, thank you everybody for coming into the stream, supporting with us this season. It's been a lot of fun. Obviously, we'll continue it into the off season. Hopefully next season goes a lot better. Hopefully the off season goes great. But, I guess now to wrap up the stream, I guess I need to claim my Super Bowl team. And I've got two teams. I'm going to go. Two teams that I want to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to go grab the jerseys real quick.
Go ahead.
I will be back, guys. It'll take about 10 seconds.
Drew. Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. Yeah, it's sad to see us go, man. But hey, it was gonna happen one way or another.
All right, guys. For this postseason run, my AFC team of choice is the LA Chargers. And then my NFC team of choice and my overall team of choice is the bad man himself, Aaron Rodgers, and the Green Bay Packers. Those will be my teams I'm rooting for. I'm also rooting for the Cowboys as well. My stepmom's from Dallas, so I'm rooting for them too. But let us know what you guys are rooting for. Who you guys want to win? Because obviously the Ravens are done now. So
yeah, I'm going for Aaron.
Going for Aaron?
At this point, like, he has nothing else to prove. Only thing he just needed, I feel like if he just wins the Super Bowl, all right, that's cool. And he's out. Like, he only played this season just to, shut him up and get out this contract.
Yeah.
and we're playing through this contract. Look what he's done. It's crazy. I love it though.
All right, guys. Thank you everybody for coming into the stream. We'll see all of you again next time.